Hi, how's it going? This is Resident of Colin. I'm here to do a review of the Benight and Beguile book for Chapter 7. You know, with the with this whole chapter, there's a lot of interesting things. You have Jacob and Constable Rains going to visit Father Ryan, Donovan Ryan, who is being sort of taunted by Caspian, and Caspian praying and sees the face of Matthew Winterbourne, who resembles the Father Donovan Ryan's favorite saint. So Caspian now knows that Matthew Winterbourne is a threat to him, which is really interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. Jacob Jacob is in a desperate time in his life. I mean, he's done a lot of bad, but also he realizes there's a whole other evil in this world now. And so he's very concerned about his mother's behavior. I mean, this is strange even by his standards. Here's a woman who he knows it always bothered his mother losing his sister Vivi or Victoria, I believe was her full name, but I think they called her Vivi, if memory serves. Um, and so when his mother hung a portrait of his dead sister in the room, he thought, well, this is odd. Jesus, like what the fuck is this? And he himself has seen this Caspian just have this power over her, which he finds, really strange. But then, to sort of see this hypnotic power over two women was frightening. It's like, Jesus, like he couldn't believe it to a degree, but to see it for himself, and then his daughter Charlotte telling him about what happened in the mass, and Father Donovan Ryan. And he talks to Rains about this whole matter, about this Caspian guy. There's something up here. Uh, you know, he's not sure exactly what his mother's been promised, but to his and really what's been implicated, what he's heard implicated, he's not exactly sure what the meaning of it is. I mean, the implication he slightly heard was about something about Vivi coming back, and with Jacob, it's just like he's not really a big believer in the supernatural. So here's somebody who's here. Well, come back. What does that mean? Vivi's dead. Like to him, it's just like, does he mean come back like literally or figuratively? So he's sort of, his radar is up here with this Caspian guy. Like something's not right, and it's not a good thing, and it's worse than what he's done. And that's saying something. Um, And so they go visit Father Donald Ryan, and as much Ryan's very scared, but he agrees to help. But he tells them that what needs to be done isn't going to be easy because they need to go to the Vatican and get permission to do an exorcism on Caspian. And to get a permission to do an exorcism on a person is not the easiest thing. There's things you need to prove. You need to prove that they've never heard a language, uh, that a language they speak, like let's say Spanish, French, that they've never heard that language. They've never heard it spoken aloud to them. It was never taught to them. Um, Now, the one language I think they could fall back on is Father Donovan Ryan could fall back on is Aramaic. If Caspian knows Aramaic, that's a big radar, because now does Father Donovan Ryan know? It is taught to you if you've gone so far in the religious world, if you've gone far enough in the religious community. Um, Again, I'm not saying Father Donovan Ryan knows it. Maybe somebody he knows it. And again, we'll see if that happens. I'm not saying it will. I'm not trying to give a prediction. I'm just saying that's something you could sort of say that. Well, does he know Aramaic? If he does, that's a big radar for Caspian. Also, what does he really know about the other side? There are questions. Is Caspian going to get asked questions by somebody, or how are they going to go about investigating him? Really, that's going to be an interesting, because this isn't a child. This isn't The Exorcist. This is a grown adult you're talking to. Where you know, Megan, I think the girl's name was from The Exorcist, had her mother, or Megan, whatever her name was in The Exorcist, had her mother who could talk to the priest. Caspian doesn't have somebody who's going to speak for him. He could speak for himself easily and lie about it too, which is interesting. And we'll see where that goes. Now, you also have Sabrina Spencer Lord, the ghost of her, inside Genevieve Thorne's body. And Genevieve Thorne looks exactly like uh, Sabrina in the face. So, this is why Sabrina has possessed her. And Sabrina is still mad at Jacob for killing her. She should be. So Charlotte has said to Sabrina slash Genevieve, Dad's changed. He hasn't really. Um, he's living this new life now. Okay, and she goes, you can go do whatever you want. Sort, well, she can and can't. There's Genevieve's son is on the way. Genevieve's son. Now she could just break off the relationship with Jonathan. That's no big deal, and that's even talked about in this. Like that's something she could. She wants to go look for David, but she can't just go look for David. So she decides to stick around and meet her son Morgan, meet Genevieve's son Morgan, and she'll decide from there. Celeste overhears this and is very suspicious of it. She also does not want her husband to fall in love with Genevieve slash a woman who looks like Sabrina. So she wants this Genevieve woman out the house. Now, to be fair, if Sabrina Spencer Lord did not hop in Genevieve's body, I seriously think we don't see Genevieve in the house because Genevieve did not want to stay there initially. She said she did not like the feeling she got from the house. She didn't like it. She got that Jonathan liked it, which she didn't like it. So keep that in mind. That Genevieve herself, the real Genevieve, not Sabrina in Genevieve. And if that's confusing to you, I apologize. It's not confusing to me. I've been reading this story. Um, Genevieve did not want to stay in the house. So I sort of wonder if that's going to come to a head between sort of like Genevieve maybe tells Sabrina, like, look, I didn't want to be here in this house. Uh, you know. Then you have Caspian, who and Aurora, they make love because Caspian has seduced her. Really, really fun scene to read. Um, my favorite part is Sebastian and Jacqueline because here's Sebastian who needs this help from this witch, and Jacqueline is a witch. She's part of the Sisters of Highgrove, and she's also um, you know you find out she's related to Eliza. So to her, she wants nothing to do with that lifestyle anymore, the power or anything. She just wants to live a normal, happy life. Sebastian, is mad at her because he needs all the help he can get. He needs to get rid of this Caspian guy, so he needs her to help him and Mary. She wants nothing to do with it. She's got him locked in a coffin. She knows what he is. And really, the two are, in an interesting argument and discussion about, this demon Caspian, uh, really, who's really powerful. And Jacqueline sort of uh, had a slight interaction with Caspian, a very interesting interaction with Caspian in this chapter. I won't spoil it. Good link will be in the description box to go read it. And as she you know, had discovered a mysterious book um, that she found at Matthew Winterbourne's place. Give me a second. She found a book about Alice's birth and death, and then it had latitude and longitude on it. So she's going to take this book and use it. We'll see where that goes. Again, my favorite scene, I've talked about this, is Sebastian and Jacqueline, because I think though Jacqueline is somebody who has to come to the realization, okay, I need to help him. And you have a lot of that going on too. You have sort of, okay, Jacob is willing to find, okay, I'm not going to have some guy possess my mother, or wreak havoc on this family. He's just not going to have it happen. Uh, so he's willing to. He see what he really sees though too is that Caspian is not a fake like Gaspar was. Caspian is the real deal, whatever he is. Now, whether Jacob really believes he's a demon, but he seems somewhat convinced by Father Donovan Ryan's words that he believes, okay, maybe Father Donovan Ryan is right, and Caspian is a demon. And he has seen Caspian do some pretty suspicious demon like things that whether, and again, Jacob is convinced that if I have to go to Italy, I'll go with you. And then Gregory says the same thing. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. All right, guys, link to Benight Beguile is going to be in the description box. I hope you have a good day.